A few months ago, when the pandemic began in India, a few videos relating to members of a particular community were circulated online. These videos showed a few men committing abusive and repulsive acts with an apparent motive of spreading the virus. Naturally, these videos sparked immense outrage among people. As a result, the entire community was subjected to the hate and anger of many people across the nation. When I saw those videos at first, I was horrified as well. Anyone would be. Those videos were actually outrageous. However, what was more shocking for me was the fact that people were garnering so much hate for an entire community because of the actions of a few. A few days later, it was revealed that those videos were fake. Kind of shocking, right? Even though I should have felt relieved, I didn't. I mean, why should I? The damage was already done. Those few videos had managed to plant seeds of fear and fuel the fire of hatred in people's hearts. Even if people were informed about the truth, it would do little to erase the disgusting and terrifying image already created in their minds for the community. That was the first time I realized how dangerous fake news can be. Think about it. The kind of media that we consume on a daily basis has the power to influence our mindset. It can change the way we look at things around us to such a large extent that if it is misused, it can prove to be very dangerous. So what does happen when it is misused? What does happen when media is misused? To answer this question, I delved a bit deeper into this issue. After researching for a few weeks, I came to an unfortunate conclusion. News manipulation was increasing at an alarming rate worldwide, especially in India. Tools like social media and sometimes even mainstream media are being used to spread misleading information. Fake news, doctored videos, inflammatory and biased pieces are slowly replacing unbiased and authentic pieces of information. And to analyze the intensity of this issue, I first started with India. By 2019, India had around 400 million WhatsApp users. As the number of users increased, so did the amount of fake information being shared. And most of the times, fake information like this could be found to instill or encourage hatred, biases, and in some cases, even violence. Yes, even violence. Let me explain. In May 2018, a 55-year-old woman was beaten to death by a mob when she was visiting a temple with her family. She had stepped out to give sweets to a few children playing nearby when a group of people attacked her and her family. Why did they attack her, you ask? It's because they thought she was a kidnapper. But why would they think that? It's because the local people were on edge after a few fake rumors had been shared on WhatsApp claiming that there were child kidnappers on the loose. Can you imagine that? Someone lost their life. A family had not only been injured but had lost a loved one within a day. They did not even know why they were being victims of such an atrocity. And what for? A few pathetic lies on WhatsApp. Let that sink in. Sadly, this was not the only incident. A BBC report revealed that at least 31 people between the year 2017 and 2018 were victims of mob lynchings after a few fake rumors had been shared on WhatsApp. 31 actual deaths. But it's not only information like that that can cause harm. Sometimes false information that may not have ill intentions can prove to be just as dangerous. For example, I'm pretty sure ever since the start of the pandemic, all of us have received those messages that provide cures for the virus. You know, the ones that go face towards the sun with your leg on top of your head at 5 am in the morning and the virus will never enter your body. Sounds weird, right? But it was written by an American MD, so what do I know? Now, messages like these, claiming to be written by medical experts that provide self-medication courses, home remedies, and sometimes even cures, are not necessarily shared with bad intentions. They're probably just shared to help each other out. But these are just as dangerous because actual doctors have not only rejected these claims, but they actually strictly advise against self-medication. And people who believe them are at risk because they would be less likely to seek medical attention should the symptoms arise, believing that these solutions would work. Needless to say, fake news can have devastating impacts at every scale. However, it is also important to note that social media is not the only channel that can spread misinformation. Even the mainstream media in India has been found to spread inflammatory and biased news from time to time, usually to propagate a specific agenda or sway the audience. Not only that, but issues like misreporting, underreporting, distorted information, and the use of provocative language are still prevalent and arguably even increasing. Sometimes journalists are even threatened if what they write does not agree with the authorities. And these are not just some 16-year-old's opinions. This can be backed by the fact that India ranks 142nd in the world's Press Freedom Index. Issues like these cannot be taken lightly. They can prove to be detrimental to the very essence of democracy because they reduce our power to make informed decisions as citizens. That being said, India is not the only country facing issues like these. Misinformation can be shared in the form of clickbaits and tabloids and tweets and videos all across the world. This is mostly because there are so many channels of communication today and so little supervision that anyone can say anything and go undetected without any consequences. This problem exists everywhere. It's pervasive. It affects all of us the same: the poor, the rich, the educated, the uneducated, the developed nations, the underdeveloped nations, all of us. So now the question arises, why do we fall into this fake news trap? And how do we avoid it? Now let me give you an analogy. Imagine you're a character in an island adventure game. The island is filled with treasure chests, but also a lot of traps. Your aim is to survive and navigate the island successfully. Now, one of the first reasons you may not succeed is because you have failed to assess your surroundings thoroughly as you walk through the island. And because you forgot to do so, you accidentally step on a trap, and before you know it, you're hanging upside down from a rope. Awful, right? It's also the same with our sources of information. Many times we forget to check the sources before we believe their stories, which makes it more likely for us to believe things that may not be true. Which is why we should always make it a point to always check and analyze our sources. Because a lot of times, sources may have associations, histories, backgrounds, or biases that may affect their coverage on stories. And oftentimes we do not check our sources because we receive this information from people we trust, like friends and family. But it is important to know that anyone can fall into the fake news trap, which is why it becomes all the more important that we do not believe everything we see. Hence, the best way to avoid fake news is to always read from authentic sources. Now, as you continue your journey through the island, you start to realize that these traps are becoming smarter and smarter. They're now using attractive baits to trick you. But obviously you can't fall for them, otherwise you will be in deep trouble. Similarly, manipulative news also uses this concept sometimes. Manipulative news may deliberately use unusual headlines, vibrant colors, and language that is made to play with our emotions. Online, these are often known as clickbaits. So these are specifically designed to elicit a reaction from us in order to generate likes and views. Oh, and don't forget, often false pieces of information have horrible grammatical errors. So the next time you come across an article like that, chances are it's not written from an authentic source and thus cannot be trusted. Sometimes you may fall for the trap because there are so many, you cannot figure them out. It's the same with news as well. I still remember the first time I decided to start reading about current affairs. I struggled tremendously. Every topic was covered by so many websites, news organizations, and people that it became so difficult for me to figure out what is accurate and what is not. And I'm sure all of us have struggled with this at one point or another. But here's what you can do. Take some time out to research and find out what sort of sources are considered credible. Once you have a good enough list, you can sign up for the newsletters, follow their social media accounts, and read from their websites to make sure that the majority of information that you receive is from authentic sources only. It is also a good practice to always read from multiple sources to ensure that you have a good enough perspective and as accurate information about a topic as possible. And I know what you must be thinking. Nida, this sounds like too much work. But I assure you, most of the times it only takes around 2 to 3 minutes of basic research to find out if something is fake or not. Just imagine 2 to 3 minutes of research on your part could prove to be very instrumental on breaking a fake news chain. Now that we have identified all the problems, I'm pretty sure you can navigate through the island successfully and win the game. Congratulations! Now back to reality. The reason why we need to make active efforts to avoid manipulative news is because today technology has made it very easy to make anything seem believable. And people may misuse this for their personal gain. We cannot let manipulative news instill or create biases in us because it is simply unacceptable. It is also important to realize that none of these solutions would matter if we as responsible citizens and individuals do not make the attempt to step out of our comfort zones and look at things from different perspectives. This is because oftentimes we fall for fake news because, as hard as it may be to hear, it's because of our own biases and prejudices. The values that we have grown up with often overpower our ability to look at things objectively. It is very easy to fall into the habit of only believing things that agree with what we already think is the truth. When we read something that agrees and aligns with our biases, we often fail to entertain the possibility that there may be a slightest chance what we're reading may be untrue or one-sided. And when that happens, we become potential targets of manipulative news that is specifically designed to prey on the existing social cracks in the society to exploit the social divide. We have to learn to keep our biases in check. We have to learn to develop a critical mindset. Otherwise, this gift that we have of accessing information at a scale like never before may very well be our downfall. Thank you.